Hello, Leos. Welcome to another open mind intuitive message for the next 30 days. This message will be for Leo sun and rising signs for the next 30 days, okay? Spirit guides, what message do we have for Leo sun and rising signs for the next 30 days? Leos, sun and rising signs, next 30 days, prevailing energies, information. What do we need to know? Leo, shallow, hollow, empty, boredom. You guys could be suffering from depression. Okay, here's what I think is going on. I think that you've been overstimulated for the past several years. Like, you went through a lot of changes. Uranus was in Taurus, or has been in Taurus, from 2018 to 2025. It's going into Gemini today. And you've gone through a lot of unexpected changes in your life. And you've never had the time to take stock of what you've been through. So things have pretty much settled, right? You may have moved to a new home, started a new job, ended a relationship, but things are starting to mellow out or get settled. And I think now you have the time to reflect on what you've endured in the past. And there's a sense of loss, a sense of loss, a sense of detachment, disconnection. What's next? What's the next challenge? What's the next situation that I'll have to overcome? Hollow, empty, and boredom. You guys may also be single, and you may not have close contact with friends or family. You may be isolated in a lot of ways. So the changes you've experienced has kind of blown your life up in a sense. And so nothing is familiar. You went into survival mode, which forced you to detach from that which was familiar or safe. Now you're in a settled place, but there's nothing around you that gives you comfort or that stimulates you. You are bored. You may be comfortable, but you're bored because I guess it seems like there's no one for you to share your life with, or you're not doing anything new. This is repeated cycles, repeated patterns of behavior. You went from being overstimulated to understimulated. You might miss the excitement of all the changes you went through. Now things are settled. And so I don't think you know what the next step is. Like, what's next? What's the next goal I'm going to accomplish? Where's the next relationship I'm going to be in? So you're bored with the status quo. Things have settled. Are you looking for drama? You're looking for stimulation and excitement. You're looking for stimulation. And you might think that you need to start a relationship for that stimulation, or a new job, move. You're looking for some sort of movement, and you're not. You feel stuck. This could be depression also. Depression in terms of facing the reality of everything you've lost over the past 5-10 years, all the changes you've had to make in your life. Things seem meaningless now. Are they meaningless because you have no one to share them with? This is depression. Some of you guys can't enjoy yourself unless you're with someone. You're isolated. So you need to find another friend group, another relationship partner. Start to, I don't know, hanging out with people that you like, who trust you. Something here seems empty, unfulfilling. You're unfulfilled even though you have stability. Your life is not the way you want it to be. It doesn't feel the way you want it to feel. You feel disconnected, detached, unstimulated, uninspired, unmotivated. This could be because of a love relationship. Possibilities. Free-spirited, right? You miss that stimulation of change, moving around, meeting new people, breaking up, making up, new job, new home, lots of friends. Something is like at a standstill or a lull. We have the sun, which is your energy here. Solar plexus, possibilities, free-spirited, adventurous, and you're not doing that. It's like you don't know what's next. You miss being stimulated. You miss having challenges. You miss having goals that you need to accomplish. You miss meeting new people. There's something here that's, you might have to move. You might have to move. You might be living somewhere where there's not a lot of things to do. There's no stimulation. There's no energy. There's no growth. Wherever you're living could be played out. You've seen it all, done it all. You're looking for another challenge. Free-spirited, adventurous, the opposite of hollow, empty boredom. So now that Uranus is in Gemini, your life has become relatively stable compared to what it has been over the past 7 to 10 years. Why don't you appreciate this? I think you don't appreciate it because you feel like you're not growing anymore. You feel like you're not growing. Life is passing you by. You're not connected to anyone or anything important. You're not in the mix. You're cut off. You don't have a friend circle or group. It's like you need new goals. You need new challenges. You're not growing. And so you may be inspired to deal with that this month. Yeah, you thought you'd be happy in this situation. You thought you wanted peace, or you thought you wanted stability, and you do. Now that you have it, though, your stability should become a springboard for you seeking new possibilities, for you exploring new things, going to school, starting a new business, entering a relationship, creating a friend circle, a new project. You need something to do. I think over the past several years, you didn't have time to plan. You were reacting instead of being proactive. Things were happening to you and you had to roll with the punches. Now that things have calmed down, you're like, what's next? So you may end up moving or traveling or starting something new. 6 of Cups. Yeah, this is kind of like boredom energy too. Looking at the past. King of Wands, which is fire energy. This is Leo, but also could be Aries. 5 of Swords, 10 of Wands, 6 of Swords, and the Emperor, Aries energy. Somebody could be missing an Aries. Someone's happiness and stimulation is coming from this fire sign person. Could be a King of Fire or an Emperor. Aries, Sag, Leo person. They're Are you looking to be rescued by this person because you're bored? Someone may have avoided a relationship with a This sign, a fire sign, because they were afraid of losing control, afraid of doing things differently. So if this is ended, now you're wistfully looking back on that experience and missing the challenge. Some of you guys may be missing someone who gave you this stimulation. You're bored without them. You're depressed. You are depressed. Hangman. Yes. Six of Cups. Hangman. Hierophant. Stuck. Four of Wands. Five of Wands. Two of Wands. Right. You're looking for stimulation. So was this person your excitement? Like this person was the only thing you could look forward to? This person may have been the only thing you could look forward to. Now they may not be around, or they're focused on something else, and now you feel lost or bored. This is not a good thing. You need to be your own stimulation. You got to find this person was your hobby or your job, or you felt like they were. This person made it easy for you to not deal with your own life in a way. They were your entertainment. They made you feel alive or connected or valued, or they gave you hope. They made you feel enthusiastic, but you should have been feeling this way without them. Before you met them, you should have been feeling this way. If you didn't feel this way before you met them, that could be the reason why you're not together now. Because you placed so much expectations on them to be what you wanted them to be, because they were the source of your happiness. So you had to control how they interacted with you to make sure that they don't leave. Right? They have to show up the way you wanted them to, because they were the source of your happiness or your simulation. Now they're gone. You're looking back at that situation and wanting to reconcile with them, potentially hear from them. It's like you feel stuck without them. You can't do things without them. You were doing things with them that you couldn't do by yourself. In a sense, that's how you felt, or that's how you feel. This is codependent behavior. Hangman, Pisces energy, Hierophant, Taurus, tradition, rules, restrictions. And you can't do that with the King of Wands or an Emperor. This person doesn't really follow the rules. They do what they want. So we have the 5 and the 4 of Wands. 5, 4, and 2. 7, 11, 2 of Wands, 4 white. This person was the source of your happiness. There's a lot of arguments between you guys, a lot of issues, a lot of conflicts, because you were trying to control them. And you were trying to control them because you needed them to be a certain way to receive energy from them. You were receiving energy from this person. So they had to interact with you in a certain way, engage with you a certain way, give you what you want, show up the way you wanted them to, for you to feel alive, stimulated. The way it's like you were looking to them not just for validation, but for purpose. You feel like you can't do certain things without this person. And that's not a good position to be in. You shouldn't be feeling like this without this individual. I'm not saying that this person doesn't have value, but you miss the relationship or the connection because this person got you out of your comfort zone. But because they got you out of your comfort zone, you resisted them in some way. You pushed back. 5 of Wands. You pushed back because you wanted to control them. This person was like, maybe you were triggered by them because they didn't need you. And so you try to control them because their presence made you happier than you are by yourself. That's codependent. So you really couldn't enjoy the relationship, or they couldn't enjoy it because you kept trying to control them. And you wanted to control them because you were using them to feel better about yourself, to feel better about your life, to feel connected, valued, appreciated. like you were doing something, like you were learning. You should be doing this without them. And if you can't do certain things without this person, you have to ask yourself why. So this person was revealing your limitations, or how your thoughts and beliefs were limiting your experiences. So if you were like, I can't travel without this person, I can't do certain things without this person, you have to ask yourself why. You've kept yourself in a box. Hierophant, hangman, for years. This is codependent, needy behavior. It's like you're looking to this person to save you from yourself, or you're looking to this person to save you from yourself, or to stimulate you in some way that you can't do yourself. This is codependence. This is also daddy issues with the Emperor and the Page of Earth. Please take care of me. Someone acting like a child. This is very deep. This is not necessarily love. This is codependency. Enlightenment. Solar plexus. Child. Please take care of me, daddy. This person is teaching you that you've been limiting yourself in some way. You've been restricting yourself out of fear, out of insecurity, out of codependency, out of ignorance, maybe laziness, I don't know. But yeah, this is somebody with daddy issues. Quest, another child, self-worth. Yes, exactly. So this person is teaching you how to love yourself. So their absence is forcing you to deal with the feelings that you're dealing with right now. Why do you feel so shallow and empty and bored without this person in your life? Why aren't you making your life the way you want it to be? Why do you need them for that? Is that why you're so attracted to them? Because they make you feel alive. Like they feel like you know, they could be a daddy figure too. They could be someone who treats you the way you wish your father treated you, or there's that energy of wanting a strong, dominating male or female. I'm seeing male though. King of Wands and the Emperor. This strong figure to take care of you and to treat you the way that you wish you were treated as a child. Solar plexus and sacral chakra. Then we have the throat chakra. A quest, a journey to self-worth and enlightenment. This person was teaching you that by their very presence. So you don't just miss them because they were an amazing person. You're missing them because they were unlocking parts of yourself that you had suppressed or hidden for many years out of fear or other stuff, right? Insecurities and things that nature, trauma, neglect. Somebody feels like they can't enjoy life without another person. They can't do certain things. It's like they want people to do things for them. Page of Pentacles and the Emperor. This is a father-daughter relationship. Or adult-child relationship. You're not on the same level. Someone acts like a child or thinks like one. They've infantilized themselves. So now that this person's gone and they have stability, they still can't enjoy their lives because it's like they're living in a self-imposed psychological, emotional, and mental and even spiritual prison. Physical prison too. Not like in jail, but you can't move anywhere. You can't go where you want to go freely. You have to ask for permission to go out, or you have to ask for help when traveling. Something that's really dependent, very dependent energy. Someone's afraid of doing things by themselves or alone. Pink. Conservation, save your pennies, healthy choices, intelligence. Don't run away with your spending, moderation. Risk averse. Someone's very conservative. This is like a poverty mindset, Five of Pentacles energy. You may not have enough money to do certain things. You might need them for money. Health. heart, mind, and body. Get well, be well, get checkup, healthy choices, change in diet or exercise. Someone's extremely frugal. This is Virgo energy. Virgo and conservation. Very frugal. There's an unhealthy relationship with your physical body. It's like being starved. Someone is starved for attention, and that starvation shows by your spending habits or your lifestyle or the way you eat. Someone deprives themselves of pleasure, or they deprive themselves of, this is a very Spartan lifestyle, like very minimal. Gambling, very minimal. Someone's a gambler, someone is not. This person could be someone who takes risks. They gamble. That's a gambler. So this person doesn't take any risks. Whoever I'm talking to does not take risks. They're afraid of doing that. And so now the person they're pining after, this individual, this emperor, is a risk taker. He's a boss. He has full control and agency of his life. This could be a woman too. And the person who's pining after him doesn't have those qualities. So they like him or they like her because she exemplifies the qualities that they miss within themselves. They wish they were like this person. They want this person to save them or something. So some of you guys need to go to therapy, or somebody always feels not healthy, or this, I don't know, this Virgo energy, definitely. Virgo, Venus is debilitated in Virgo. Red. What? I don't like the words on this card. Red, hoe, running away, red flag, sneaky, B word, hidden agenda, cheater, keeps it on the low, secretive. How do we get from this to this? Okay. Yeah, hidden agenda. So neither of you guys, whoever is in the situation, are being honest about what's going on here. There's dishonesty. We got the 6 and the 5. That's 2 swords. A conundrum. A catch-22. A difficult decision. Red. We got pink to red. Okay. I'm going to say this. How do you go from shallow to this? This person really stimulated you. They made you feel alive. But for some reason, you judge yourself as if you're like you don't want to be in the streets. You're very prudish. This person may have a red car. They want to have fun. You may have to do this. Someone may have to embrace this part of themselves just to be fun and free, not to do dangerous stuff. No, I'm not saying that. Be safe always, but take risks. Do something that you wouldn't normally do. Get dressed up. Spend money on your hair, clothes. That red here. Someone needs to. This is the root chakra too. Someone is risk averse. They're afraid of taking chances. They're afraid of danger. Not to say danger is good, but they're afraid of doing things differently. They're afraid of someone who doesn't follow the rules. They make their own rules. This person is afraid of life and afraid of death. They're afraid of life because they're afraid of death. And they're afraid of life and death because they're not living to their full potential. They're not living to their full potential. They're afraid of death or even getting old because they feel like they're missing out. But they're not doing what they need to do to not miss out. Like, I'm sorry. You're missing out on something, but okay, what are you missing out on? Somebody needs to completely switch up. How do you go from conservative to this? Healthy choices. Healthy choices also here. You're very health conscious, almost OCD like Virgo energy. This person's not like that. You want to be this. You want to take a risk. You want to be dangerous. But dangerous stuff, causes problems. So you have to take calculated risks. Take calculated risks. That's the goal. But I don't think you know what calculated risks are. So a calculated risk would be starting a business. That's a calculated risk, right? An uncalculated risk would be getting involved in a relationship with a drug addict who's abusive. That's an uncalculated risk, because what is the possibility of that situation working out, right? There's almost no chance of that working out. But a calculated risk of you starting a business or you doing something productive or constructive, at the very least, you'll learn new skills, meet new people, and you'll be spending your time in productive ways. And you might end up being successful, right? That's a calculated risk. Of course, you got to budget and make sure you have enough money to finance your business, but those are calculations. Some of you guys are conflating risk with danger. All risks are not dangerous. Some of you guys are very traditional, very stoic, very prudish. Afraid of life and afraid of death. It's like you think you need permission to be happy or to do what you want to do. There's some conditioning here, Hierophant. Insecurities. Work on building your confidence and feeling safe in your relationship. Yes, self-worth. Hard to get. You're missing opportunities by playing hard to get. Give someone a chance. Excuses. You have so many reasons that never works out. Find reasons it can work. So yeah, playing hard to get. Prudish. Prudish. Needing to control the person. Trying to control this person because they're the source of your excitement, stimulation, happiness, and joy. You can't let them be who they want to be because you're afraid that they'll leave you if you can't control them. This is kind of covert. This is kind of like I don't want to say narcissist. I can't say that. But someone who is very manipulative. They play helpless. And they play helpless, but they're actually very controlling and conniving. It's like a spider web. Work on building your confidence and excuses. You have so many reasons that it never works out. Find the reasons it can work. What are you doing to make this work? So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. The moral of the story is you're looking to this person, right, for excitement and stimulation. And you should be doing that for yourself. You should be looking to this person to do that for you. This person can't save you from yourself. You may have daddy issues that you have to address also. You're too conservative, too controlling, too prudish. Maybe OCD, Virgo, perfectionists. That's not going to work for you guys, okay? All right, Leos, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for listening. Look forward to your feedback. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.